Stop. Before you say another word to yourself, hear this. Your voice is not background noise. It is a command center. Every I can't becomes a cage. Every I will becomes a key. If the world you wake up to feels heavy, it's not because life is against you. It's because your inner narrator has been whispering limits and your mind has been obeying. Today, we flip the switch. From this moment on, you don't wish, you command. You don't hope someday. You decide today. You don't speak like a beggar asking. You speak like a builder, creating. Imagine your mind as a broadcasting station. Every thought is a signal. Every word is a frequency. Tune to fear and you attract delay, distraction, and doubt. Tune to certainty and you draw in people, chances, and doors that open. Here's the rule for this entire journey. Words are not wishes. Words are orders. Say it with me clearly, calmly, like law. I am not my old story. I am the author now. I speak power. I build power. I live in power. You are about to learn how to speak to yourself so the future can hear you coming, how to charge your words with emotion so belief hardens, how to repeat with rhythm so your subconscious accepts, how to speak from identity, I am, until your actions match your voice. This is not hype. It's a system. Short lines, clear question, daily repetition, a voice your mind can follow even on tired days. So breathe in, drop your shoulders, let the doubt exit with your exhale. Now, give your destiny its first order. I am destined for greatness. I am unstoppably. I command my life to rise. Ready. Let's turn your voice into victory. Every human being walks with a voice inside. Sometimes it is loud, sometimes quiet, but it never stops speaking. That voice is not just commentary, it is command. The way you speak to yourself writes the script of your future. And here is the truth. Your outer life can never rise above the level of your inner conversation. Think about it. The athlete who breaks records doesn't begin by doubting himself in the mirror. He repeats, I am strong. I am fast. I am ready. The entrepreneur who builds empires doesn't tell herself, I don't know if I can. She programs her mind daily. I create value. I attract opportunity. I deserve success. These words are not empty. They are the blueprint. Napoleon Hill called this process autosuggestion, feeding your subconscious with words so charged with belief and emotion that they become reality. Modern science confirms it. Your brain doesn't just hear words, it builds neural pathways from them. Speak weakness, and your brain wires you for hesitation. Speak strength, and your brain wires you for courage. Here's the law. Plain and simple. The words you speak to yourself become the instructions your subconscious obeys. Why self-talk shapes your destiny. Your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a truth and a lie. It only responds to repetition and emotion. If you say, I can't often enough, your subconscious accepts it and blocks the very creativity you need to solve problems. If you say, I will, with conviction, your subconscious scans your environment, pulls in resources, and drives your behavior toward making it happen. This is why people stay stuck for years, not because they lack potential, but because their inner voice keeps reinforcing limitation. The most dangerous prison is not bars of steel. It is sentences of self-doubt. The inner contract. Every sentence you repeat is like signing a contract with your future. Say, I'm always broke. and you sign a contract for poverty, say nothing good ever happens to me, and you sign a contract for disappointment, say I attract opportunities every day, and you sign a contract for abundance, you may not see the result immediately. But remember, words are seeds. What you plant in your mind today, you harvest tomorrow. The harvest is delayed, but it is certain. Why most people fail? Most people treat self-talk as random noise. They allow frustration, fear, or comparison to dictate their words. They look at their bills and say, I'll never get out of this. They face failure and say, I'm not good enough. They hit obstacles and declare, this is impossible. And because they declare it, it becomes real. They do not realize that every word spoken with emotion is a command. Doute become poison. Negativity becomes a virus. The subconscious is always listening, always obeying. How to take control. So how do you turn this around? You begin by becoming aware. Awareness is step one. Stop yourself mid-sentence when you hear negative phrases. I can't, I'll never, I'm not enough. Replace them immediately with a statement of power. I can, I will, I am becoming. It will feel unnatural at first because your old programming resists change, but repetition is stronger than resistance. Every time you replace a weak word with a strong one, you lay down a new track in your brain over days and weeks. That track becomes the highway your thoughts travel, the law in action. Let's imagine two people starting the same journey. Both want to build financial freedom. One wakes up and says, it's too hard. I'm unlucky. The system is against me. His subconscious accepts it. He drags through the day, misses opportunities, and eventually proves himself right. The other wakes up and says, I am disciplined. I create value. Money flows to me through my service. Her subconscious accepts it. She takes bold action, sees possibilities where others see problems, and little by little, she builds her freedom. Both had the same external world. Their inner words built two different futures. Speak as if you already are. The most powerful shift you can make is to speak as if the outcome is already real. Don't say, I will be confident. Say, I am confident. Don't say, I will someday be successful. Say, I am successful now. Why? Because your subconscious responds to identity, not intention. When you speak in present tense, you pull the future into the now, and your actions rise to meet it. Command. Don't beg. Here's the difference between average people and achievers. Average people beg life to change. Achievers command life to change. Your voice must sound like law, not like a request. Speak with authority. Speak with conviction. Speak until your own ears believe you. Practice for today, right now. Choose 3 sentences and repeat them out loud with energy. 1, I am worthy of success. 2, I create opportunities every day. 3, I persist until I prevail. Say them 5 times each. Hear your own voice. Feel the shift. This is not silly. This is science. Every repetition is programming your subconscious. Every word is a seed. Your life is not driven by luck or chance. It is driven by the voice you obey most often. The question is, do you obey the voice of fear? Or do you obey the voice of faith? The law is clear. Your voice creates your reality. Guard it. Direct it. Command it. Every structure, you see in the world, every bridge, every skyscraper, every invention began as an idea spoken into existence. Before the first brick was laid, before the first machine was built, someone said, "It can be done," and then, because the words gave life to belief, actions followed. But words don't only build, they also destroy. A single sentence, repeated with enough conviction, can either erect a palace in your future or burn down the foundation of your dreams. That's why the way you speak to yourself is never neutral. It is either construction or demolition. The building power of words. Consider the phrase, "I am capable." At first, it may sound like 3 simple words, but say it out loud with conviction, and something shifts inside you. Your shoulders rise, your chest opens. Your mind begins scanning for evidence to support that claim. Now imagine repeating that every morning for 30 days. What happens? Your subconscious begins to search for ways to prove you right. It nudges you toward opportunities. It whispers, "Try again," when you want to quit. It plants courage where fear once lived. Your words become blueprints, just as an architect draws lines that builders follow. Your words draw lines in your mind that your actions unconsciously follow. The destructive power of words. But the reverse is just as true. Say, "I can't do this," and your subconscious will also search for evidence. It will find excuses, point out obstacles, and magnify failures until you surrender. Every time you say, "I'm not good enough," you're tearing down the very scaffolding of belief that could have lifted you higher. The tragedy is that most people don't realize how often they swing the wrecking ball on their own future. They casually mutter words like, "I'm broke," "I'm unlucky," "Nothing ever works out for me," not realizing they're programming their mind to expect and accept that reality. Words destroy silently, like termites in the foundation. You may not see the damage immediately, but over time, the structure of your belief collapses. And when belief collapses, success crumbles with it. The neutral myth. Some people think their words don't matter. They believe saying, "I'm tired of this job," or "I'll never find love," is just venting, but your subconscious doesn't know the difference between venting and vision. It accepts everything as instruction. Every word carries weight. Every sentence either sets a brick or removes one. There is no such thing as neutral self-talk. The blueprint of greatness history proves it. Great leaders, inventors, and visionaries were not just people of ideas, they were people of declarations. Thomas Edison said, "I will find the light." Henry Ford declared, "I will build a car for the masses." Nelson Mandela repeated, "Freedom will be reality." These weren't just thoughts, they were verbal blueprints that mobilized the subconscious, attracted allies, and fueled persistence. Now compare that to the voices of defeat that fill the air every day. It's too late. It's too hard. Who am I to try? Those words become cages. They lock people inside small lives, not because the world denied them, but because their own tongue did. The test of words. Here's a challenge. Over the next 24 hours, write down every negative phrase you catch yourself saying. "I can't handle this. I'm so stressed. I don't know what to do." Then next to each one, write a new construction. Replace "I can't" with "I will find a way." Replace "I'm stressed" with "I am learning to grow stronger." Replace "I don't know" with "I am open to answers." When you do this, you'll see in black and white just how much destruction your own words were creating. And you'll also see how quickly you can rebuild by choosing different language. Speak in present tense to build with words. You must also use the language of the present. Don't say, "I will one day succeed." That pushes success away into an undefined future. Say, instead, "I am succeeding now," because when you declare in the present tense, that your subconscious believes it is already real and begins to align your actions accordingly. Think of it this way. Your subconscious mind is like a loyal builder. It doesn't question your instructions. It simply works day and night to fulfill them. If you give it vague commands, it produces vague results. If you give it powerful, present tense commands, it builds powerful present results. Identity over hope. Another key your words must reflect. Identity. Not just desire. Saying, "I hope to be disciplined," is weak. Saying, "I am disciplined," is powerful. Why? Because identity drives behavior when you speak as if you already are the person you want to become. Your subconscious aligns your choices, habits, and mindset to match. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you declare yourself to be. Your words are not cheap. They are bricks. Each one builds or destroys. Speak carelessly, and you may be living inside the ruins of your own sentences. Speak intentionally, and you will find yourself walking daily through the architecture of your dreams. So choose carefully. Every phrase is a hammer. Every declaration is a wall. Build wisely, because the house you live in tomorrow is being spoken by your tongue today. Words by themselves are like sparks. They hold potential, but without fuel, they die out quickly. What gives words their true power is emotion, the fire that transforms a spark into a blazing flame. Think about it. You can say, "I am strong," in a flat, lifeless tone, and nothing changes. But when you say it with passion, with conviction that vibrates through your chest, you feel the surge immediately. Your body responds. Your mind awakens. Your spirit ignites. Emotion is the amplifier of words. Without it, your declarations are whispers. With it, they become commands that life cannot ignore. Why? Emotion matters. The subconscious mind is not logical, it is emotional. It doesn't respond to empty statements, it responds to feeling. When you inject emotion into your words, your subconscious believes them as truth and begins to shape reality to match. That's why people who repeat affirmations without feeling often fail. They recite lines like a robot. "I am successful. I am confident. I am powerful." But there's no fire, no energy, no belief. The words bounce off the mind instead of sinking in. Emotion is what carves the words into stone. It's the difference between writing with chalk on a sidewalk and engraving with a hammer and chisel. One fades with the rain, the other lasts for generations. How to add emotion. So how do you inject emotion into your self-talk? Visualize vividly. See yourself living the words you speak. Paint the picture in your mind until it feels real. Engage your body. Speak with posture. Stand tall. Use your hands. Feel the energy as you declare your truth. Raise your voice, not in anger, but in power. Volume carries emotion. Speak loudly enough that your own ears believe you. Repeat until you feel it. Sometimes emotion doesn't arrive immediately. But if you repeat with intention, the feeling grows stronger with every declaration. The warning about negative emotion. But remember, emotion is neutral fuel. It doesn't care whether it powers positive or negative words. Say, I am worthless with strong emotion. And your subconscious will believe that too. That's why anger, self-hatred, and despair are so dangerous. They are emotionally charged commands. Negative emotion attached to negative words is like pouring gasoline on the wrong fire. It burns down your dreams instead of building them. Guard your emotions the way a soldier guards the gates of a fortress. Never allow destructive words to pass through with passion. Never allow your voice to carry defeat with conviction. Emotion turns desire into fire. Desire without emotion is a wish. Desire with emotion becomes a burning obsession. And burning obsession is the force behind every great achievement in history. Think of Martin Luther King Jr. standing in front of thousands, declaring, I have a dream. It wasn't just the words, it was the passion behind them that moved a nation. Think of Winston Churchill during the darkest days of war. We shall never surrender. The emotion in his voice carried strength into millions of weary hearts. And think of your own journey. You don't just need affirmations. You need declarations fueled with fire. Words spoken so passionately that your mind and body and destiny cannot help but obey. Practical exercise. Here's a simple practice. Every morning, stand in front of the mirror. Take 3 deep breaths. Look yourself in the eyes and declare 3 truths. 1, I am powerful. 2, I am unstoppably. 3, I attract success. Say each one loudly. Say it with energy. Say it until your chest vibrates with conviction. If you don't feel it at first, keep going. The emotion will come, and when it does, you will feel the shift instantly. Emotion is the soul of words. Without it, your declarations are lifeless. With it, they are unstoppable. So don't just speak your desires, ignite them. Speak with fire. Speak with passion. Speak with authority. Because when your words carry emotion, the universe has no choice but to listen. Repetition is the master tool that carves beliefs into the stone of your subconscious. One powerful declaration may light a spark, but only through repetition does that spark grow into an unshakable fire. Think of your subconscious mind as fertile soil. Every word you speak is a seed, but one seed, planted and ignored, does not grow. It withers. Only through repeated planting, watering, and nurturing does the seed take root and bloom into something unmovable. The power of consistency. Most people fail not because they lack talent, intelligence, or even opportunity, but because they lack consistency. They say an affirmation once and expect a miracle. But miracles don't come to the casual, they come to the committed. Repetition is what convinces your subconscious that you mean business. Each time you repeat a command, I am powerful, I am unstoppable, I am destined for success, you press the truth deeper into your identity. It's like striking a chisel against stone. One strike leaves a mark. 1,000 strikes carves a masterpiece. Why repetition works? Your subconscious doesn't learn through logic. It learns through habit. Just as a child learns the alphabet by repeating it day after day, your subconscious learns who you are by hearing it again and again. That's why habits are so powerful. They are nothing more than repeated actions performed until they become automatic. The same is true with self-talk. Repeat a thought enough times and it becomes belief. Repeat a belief enough times and it becomes reality. The enemy of repetition. But here's the danger. Repetition works both ways. If you constantly repeat negative phrases, I can't, I'm tired, I'm not good enough, those beliefs also take root. Every complaint, every excuse, every whisper of doubt is another stroke of the chisel, carving weakness into your identity. That's why discipline is essential. You cannot afford to let careless words escape your lips. Repetition will magnify them, whether they serve you or destroy you. History's greatest proof. Look at the most influential leaders and achievers in history. Their speeches were not delivered once they were repeated again and again until nations believed. Martin Luther King Jr. I didn't say I have a dream once. He repeated it again and again until those words became immortal. Muhammad Ali didn't whisper, I am the greatest once. He declared it thousands of times until the world believed what he already knew. Advertisers don't show you one commercial and stop. They repeat it endlessly because they know the secret, what you see and hear repeatedly. You eventually accept as truth. Daily ritual of repetition. If you want to master repetition, build it into your daily routine. Here's a simple framework, morning command. As soon as you wake up, speak 3 declarations out loud. These are the first orders your subconscious receives for the day. Midday reset. Pause halfway through your day. Take 60 seconds to repeat your truth with energy. This refreshes your focus. Evening seal before bed. Repeat the same declarations. These are the last words your subconscious hears before drifting into the powerful state of sleep. In this way, repetition surrounds you like armor. From sunrise to sunset, your subconscious is bathed in certainty. How repetition builds identity. At first, repetition may feel fake. You might think, but I'm not successful yet. Isn't saying it lying to myself? No. You are not lying, you are building. Every time you repeat, you are laying bricks for the identity you are creating. You don't wait until a building is complete before calling it a house. You call it a house even when the first brick is laid, because you know what it is becoming. The same is true for your declarations. Speak them as though they are already real, and through repetition, they will become real. A practical example. Imagine someone who struggles with confidence. Each morning, they say, I am confident, I am bold, I speak with power. At first, the words feel empty, but after weeks of repetition, something shifts. Their voice grows stronger, their posture improves, their presence changes. Soon, they no longer say, I am confident as a wish, they say it as a fact. The repetition has carved a new belief, and the belief has rewritten reality. The cost of neglecting repetition. Without repetition, even the most powerful truths fade. Motivation without habit dies quickly. Inspiration without repetition becomes forgotten. Think about people who attend a motivational seminar. Leave on fire, but within a week, return to the same patterns. Why? Because they didn't repeat. They let the spark die instead of feeding it daily. You cannot afford to let your spark die. Your destiny depends on feeding it every single day until it becomes a flame that never goes out. Repetition is the sculptor of belief. It shapes your identity, rewires your subconscious, and transforms your destiny. Speak your truth once and it is a spark. Speak it daily with emotion and it becomes unshakable law. So let repetition become your ally. Make it your ritual. Carve your greatness into the stone of your soul until doubt has no place to stand. Because what you repeat, you become. One of the most powerful truths you must understand is this: you will always act in alignment with the identity you believe about yourself, not the one others give you, not the one you sometimes wish for, but the one you claim every single day with your words. Your identity is the silent compass of your life. It determines how you think, what you choose, and how far you'll go. And here's the secret. Most people never realize your identity is not fixed. It is created. It is built, and it is spoken into existence. Why identity shapes everything. If you see yourself as weak, you will live weak. If you see yourself as powerful, you will act powerfully. Every thought, every decision, every behavior flows from the picture you hold of yourself. That's why you cannot keep speaking as the person you no longer wish to be. If you continue saying, I'm shy, I'm broke, I'm unlucky, I'm not enough, you are reinforcing chains around your own potential. Your words are building a prison, and your identity is the warden holding the key. But if you shift your language, you shift your life. Start speaking from the identity of the person you are becoming. Say, I am confident, I am wealthy, I am disciplined and powerful. When you claim this identity, your subconscious goes to work aligning your habits, your choices, and even your opportunities with the new version of you. Stop waiting, speak it now. Too many people postpone their greatness with small, timid words. They say, one day I'll be successful, or maybe I'll get there someday. But words like someday and maybe are excuses dressed as hope. They push your destiny further away. Your identity must not live in the future. It must live in the present. Stop saying, I will be successful. Start saying, I am successful. When you declare it in the present, you send a command to your subconscious. Align my actions right now with the person I already am. This creates urgency. It creates power. It transforms your goal from a wish into a non-negotiable reality. Identity is repetition plus emotion. Think of identity as a sculpture. Every time you repeat who you are becoming, you carve another line into the stone. Ade, emotion. And the carving becomes permanent. If you say, I am powerful without feeling, it fades into the air. But if you say, I am powerful with conviction burning in your chest, your voice filled with emotion, it penetrates deep into your subconscious. And with enough repetition, it becomes your truth. A simple exercise to shift identity. Here's a practice you can begin today. 1. Write down 3 I am statements that reflect the person you are becoming. For example, I am a disciplined creator of wealth. I am a confident leader who inspires others. I am unstoppable in the pursuit of my goals. 2. Say them aloud every morning with energy, power, and emotion. Look into the mirror when you say them. Speak not as a wish, but as a command. 3. Repeat them at night so your subconscious hears them as the final message before sleep. Do this daily. And within weeks, you'll notice your behavior, your choices, even your posture begin to reflect these truths. The trap of old identity. But beware of this trap. Your old identity will fight to survive. It will whisper, "This isn't you. You've always been lazy. You've always been broke. Who are you to say you're successful? This is nothing more than the echo of your past. You must silence it with authority." The old you has no power unless you keep feeding it with words. Each time you repeat your new identity, you starve the old one until it withers away. Identity creates action. Here's the beauty of identity. Once you truly believe you are someone, action becomes effortless. If you see yourself as an athlete, waking up early to train is natural. If you see yourself as wealthy, saving and investing is second nature. If you see yourself as a leader, speaking with authority flows easily. Action is always the shadow of identity. Change who you believe you are, and your actions will follow without resistance. History proves it. Look at anyone who achieved greatness. They didn't wait for the world to crown them. They spoke it into existence. Muhammad Ali said, "I am the greatest," long before the world agreed. He didn't ask for permission. He declared his identity, and the world eventually caught up. Every innovator, every world changer, every wealthy creator began by claiming their new identity long before anyone else saw it. That is how transformation always begins. Your identity is the engine of your destiny. Speak not as the person you used to be, but as the person you are becoming. Replace every weak, timid phrase with powerful declarations of who you are now. Say it, repeat it, feel it, believe it, until your subconscious accepts it as law and your reality has no choice but to obey, because when your words and your identity align, transformation becomes unstoppable. Your tongue is the most powerful weapon you own. With a single phrase, you can build a future of freedom, or you can lock yourself in chains so heavy they will follow you for years. Most people don't realize it, but every careless word is a seed planted in their subconscious, and every seed grows, whether it is one of weakness or one of power, the hidden power of words. We live in a world where people throw around phrases like, "I'm broke," "I'm tired," "I can't do this," without even thinking. They believe these words are harmless, just casual expressions of frustration. But the subconscious mind doesn't see them as casual. It records them as commands. Every "I can't" becomes an order. Every "I'll never succeed" becomes law. With each word of defeat, you tighten the chains around your potential. Slowly, without even realizing it. You are programming yourself for mediocrity. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine replacing every careless word with a deliberate declaration. "I will succeed. I am worthy. I am unstoppably." Each of these is also a command, but instead of chains, they are keys. They unlock doors. They set your mind free to create new possibilities. Chains or freedom. The choice is yours. Words are not neutral. They either work for you or against you. When you say, "I'll try," you are giving yourself permission to fail. When you say, "I will," you are giving yourself a path to victory. This is why Napoleon Hill said, "Your words are orders to your destiny." You can't serve two masters. You cannot speak strength in one moment and weakness in the next and expect clarity. The subconscious mind does not tolerate confusion. It obeys the strongest, most repeated command. So here is the question. What are you commanding with your words? Are you building chains? Or are you building freedom? How negative words spread like poison. Doubt and defeat always start small. One phrase, one moment of weakness. You wake up and say, I'm tired. You face a challenge and say, this is impossible. You make a mistake and whisper, I'll never get this right. Alone. Each phrase seems harmless, but repeated daily, they become poison. They creep into your belief system. They shape your identity. And eventually, they shape your reality. One careless sentence spoken over and over can ruin an entire life. That is why you must guard your tongue with the same discipline as a soldier guarding the gates of a fortress. The enemy is always looking for a way in, and your own words are the keys that can open the door, turning words into weapons of power. Instead of letting your tongue betray you, train it to serve you. Replace weakness with strength. Replace doubt with faith. Replace fear with certainty. When you feel like saying, I'm tired, speak instead, I am full of energy and power. When you want to say, I can't do this, replace it with, I will find a way. When you're tempted to say, this is too hard, declare, I am stronger than this challenge. At first, this may feel unnatural, but remember, repetition carves belief. Every time you speak words of power, you cut new grooves into your subconscious. Soon, those grooves become highways, and strength becomes your natural response. The ripple effect of your words. Your words don't just affect you, they affect everyone around you. When you speak negativity, you drain the energy of those you love. When you speak strength, you lift them higher. Think about it. How many times have you been inspired by someone's words spoken with certainty and passion? Now imagine becoming that person for your family, your friends, your community. When your tongue speaks life, you don't just change your world, you change the worlds of everyone who hears you. A daily practice to guard your tongue. Here's a practical way to take control today. 1, catch yourself. Every time you hear yourself say something negative, stop. Don't let it pass unnoticed. 2, cancel it out loud and say, cancel that. This tells your subconscious not to accept the command. 3, replace it. Immediately speak a new phrase of power. For example, instead of I'm broke, and say, money flows to me because I create value. Do this consistently, and you will retrain your tongue. Soon, negative words will feel unnatural, and powerful words will flow without effort. Your tongue is not just an instrument of speech, it is the pen writing the story of your life. Every word you speak writes another line. Every declaration builds another chapter. Guard your tongue as if your destiny depends on it, because it does. Never speak weakness. Never annonce defeat. Speak only what empowers, what strengthens, what builds, because in the end, your words will either chain you to mediocrity or liberate you into greatness. The choice is yours. And the choice begins with every phrase that leaves your lips. Words without emotion are like arrows without a bow. They fall flat. They carry no weight. They may sound good for a moment, but they never penetrate deep enough to change you. But when your words are carried by emotion, by conviction, passion, and burning desire, they transform from simple sounds into unstoppable forces. Emotion is the fire that gives words life. Without it, affirmations are hollow. With it, affirmations become law. Why emotion matters. Your subconscious mind doesn't respond to empty phrases. It responds to the intensity behind them. If you say, "I am strong with no feeling," it's like tapping on a locked door. Nothing moves. But if you declare, "I am strong with every fiber of your being," your subconscious explodes into action, carving that truth into your identity. Emotion bypasses logic. It cuts straight into the heart. That's why one speech, delivered with passion, can move millions, while another speech, filled with perfect words but no emotion, is forgotten the moment it ends. The science of emotion and belief. Here's the science. The subconscious mind learns through two channels, repetition and emotion. We've already explored repetition, but emotion is the amplifier. It's what supercharges repetition so that belief is formed faster and stronger. Think about your most vivid memories. They're not random. They are charged with emotion, a victory, a heartbreak, a moment of fear, a burst of joy. Your mind remembers these forever. Why? Because emotion stamped them into your subconscious. The same principle works for your declarations. Add emotion to your affirmations, and you stamp them into your mind with permanent ink. How to ignite emotion in your declarations. So how do you bring fire to your words? 1, use your body, stand tall. Breathe deeply. Put energy into your posture. Your body and mind are connected when you act strong. You feel strong. 2, raise your voice, speak with intensity. Let your tone rise with certainty. A whisper of doubt has no power, but a roar of conviction can move mountains. 3, visualize as you speak. Don't just say the words, see them, feel them. Imagine the victory already won, the dream already achieved. This fuses emotion to your declaration. 4, attach gratitude, speak as though it has already happened, and thank life for delivering it. Gratitude fills your words with warmth and certainty. Examples of emotional declarations. Don't just say, "I am successful." Say, "I am successful. I am powerful. I am destined for greatness. And nothing can stop me." Don't just whisper, "I am confident." Say, "I am confidence. I walk in strength. I speak with authority. I was born to lead." Do you feel the difference? It's not the words, it's the emotion behind them that makes them come alive. Emotion as fuel in hard times. There will be days when your mind feels heavy, when repetition alone doesn't seem to work. This is where emotion becomes your greatest ally. On those days, you must speak with twice the passion. You must shout your declarations until the sound drowns out your doubts. You must bring fire to your words. Because fire burns away fear. Remember this when life presses you. Emotion is the force that pushes back. Stories that prove the power of emotion. History is filled with people who spoke their future into existence with emotion. Winston Churchill's words gave an entire nation courage in its darkest hour, not because the words were perfect, but because they carried unshakable emotion. Muhammad Ali's declarations electrified arenas, not because they were new, but because he said them with such passion that the world had no choice but to believe. Great leaders, inventors, and visionaries all spoke their truth with intensity until their words reshaped reality itself, guarding against empty words. But beware, repetition without emotion is dangerous. If you keep repeating phrases like a robot, they lose power. They become routine, like brushing your teeth automatic. But empty, The goal is not to mindlessly chant words, but to breathe life into them every time you say them. If you can't feel them, stop, reset, visualize. At gratitude, then speak again with fire. Emotion is the fire that turns your words into commands. Without it, your declarations are powerless. With it, your declarations become unstoppable. So speak with passion. Speak with conviction. Speak as though the universe itself must bow to your words. Let every phrase vibrate with faith, desire, and certainty until your very soul feels on fire. Because when your words carry emotion, they do more than shape your beliefs, they reshape your reality. Every thought you think and every word you speak is not just noise, it is a broadcast. Your mind is a station constantly transmitting signals into the universe. The frequency you set is the frequency you attract. If you broadcast weakness, you invite weakness. If you broadcast strength, you attract strength. This is not philosophy, it's law. Life responds to the signals you send, and the most powerful transmitter you own is your voice. Your mind as a broadcasting station. Imagine your subconscious as a giant antenna. Every phrase you repeat, every affirmation you declare, every thought you dwell on is sent out like waves into the air. The universe listens, circumstances align, people respond, opportunities appear or disappear, depending on what frequency you are broadcasting. Most people don't realize this. They think their words are private. They say, I can't do this or I'll never succeed, as if it doesn't matter. But the truth is, their station is broadcasting failure, and life tunes in faithfully. On the other hand, when you declare with certainty, I am powerful, I am wealthy, I am unstoppable, you set your station to the frequency of victory, and life begins to adjust itself to match weak signals versus strong signals. The strength of your broadcast depends on two things: certainty and consistency. Weak signals come from doubt. When you say, I'll try, or I hope, your signal is fuzzy. It's like static on a radio. The universe doesn't know what to deliver because your message isn't clear. Strong signals come from authority. When you declare, it is mine, I will succeed, nothing can stop me, your broadcast cuts through the noise like a laser. It's sharp, it's undeniable, it commands a response. The world does not respond to weak whispers of uncertainty. It responds to bold, repeated broadcasts of conviction, the frequency of success. Every successful person sets their station to a higher frequency. They think in terms of opportunity, not limitation. They speak in terms of abundance, not scarcity. They declare certainty, not doubt. This is why wealthy, powerful achievers seem to attract success. They aren't lucky. They're broadcasting on the right frequency day after day. They've tuned their mind to victory, and everything in their environment eventually matches that signal. Practical ways to tune your frequency. You can train your mind to broadcast success by creating rituals that reset your frequency daily. 1. Morning tune-up. Begin each day with a declaration of power. Say, today I am focused, disciplined, and unstoppable. This sets your broadcast from the start. 2. Midday check-in. Pause at least once to ask, what frequency am I broadcasting right now? Fear or faith, doubt or certainty? Then correct it. 3. Evening reset. Before bed, Declare the identity you are building. I am wealth. I am power. I am greatness in motion. These rituals ensure you're not broadcasting chaos, but clarity. Examples of broadcasting power. Consider the difference between these two people. Person A wakes up and says, "Life is hard. I'm always unlucky. Nothing ever works for me." Their broadcast is defeat. Soon enough, they find themselves surrounded by more problems, more setbacks, more evidence that life is hard. Person B wakes up and says, "I am in control. Opportunities flow to me. I create my future with discipline and power." Their broadcast is strength, and what happens? They start seeing opportunities where others see problems. They meet people who can open doors. They build momentum. Same world, same conditions, different broadcasts. Guard against static. Be careful. Inconsistency kills your signal. If you declare power in the morning but complain all afternoon, your broadcast is scrambled. The subconscious obeys the strongest and most frequent command, not the occasional burst of positivity. That's why discipline is key. Stay consistent. Guard your tongue. Every word is either strengthening your signal or filling it with static. Emotion supercharges the signal. As we saw before, repetition and emotion amplify your words. When you broadcast with passion, your frequency becomes stronger. A declaration filled with emotion sends out a powerful wave that can't be ignored. Think of it like volume. Whisper your truth, and only you hear it. Shout it with conviction, and the universe hears it loud and clear. Your life is always reflecting the station you are broadcasting. Wake words, weak life. Powerful words, powerful life. So tune your frequency. Cut out static. Eliminate doubt. Declare strength. Broadcast with certainty until the world has no choice but to adjust to your signal. Because when your mind is a broadcasting station of faith, passion, and victory, everything you desire will begin to tune into you. Doubt is not just hesitation. It is poison. Silent, invisible, and deadly. It seeps into your mind like a drop of ink in clear water, spreading until everything is clouded. 1 ounce of doubt can cancel a pound of faith. One whisper of "what if I fail" can destroy an entire vision. Faith builds. Doute destroy. Faith opens doors. Doubt slams them shut. Faith creates momentum. Doubt paralyzes. If you do not learn to crush doubt the moment it appears, it will rob you of the future that belongs to you. Why doubt is so dangerous? Unlike failure, which teaches, doubt teaches nothing. Failure gives you feedback. Doubt gives you excuses. Failure builds resilience. Doubt builds paralysis. Think about it. Failure at least means you tried. You took a step. You learned something. Doubt, on the other hand, kills the journey before it even begins. It convinces you not to start. It whispers, "Wait until the time is right." Don't aim too high. Be realistic. And if you obey, your destiny dies quietly without a fight. That is why doubt is more dangerous than failure. Failure is a bruise. Doubt is a disease. How doubt disguises itself. Doubt rarely announces itself as fear. It hides in disguise. It dresses up as caution, humility, even wisdom. It says, "Maybe I should wait a little longer." It says, I don't want to look foolish. It says, I'm just being realistic. But underneath those masks, doubt is always the same. Enemy, fear in costume. And every time you give in, you give away your power. The war inside your mind. Your mind cannot serve two masters. You cannot declare, I will succeed, and then whisper, but maybe I won't. The subconscious doesn't know which order to obey, so it obeys the stronger signal, and doubt always weakens the signal of faith. This is why so many people feel stuck. They repeat affirmations in the morning, but spend the rest of the day thinking of failure. Their broadcast is scrambled. They are sending mixed signals, and life responds with confusion. Faith requires purity. It requires a clean, sharp, absolute command. I will, I must, it is done. How to destroy doubt. You cannot reason with doubt. You cannot politely ask it to leave. You must crush it with decisive belief. You must replace every what if with a this will. 1. Catch the whisper the moment doubt speaks. What if I fail? Interrupt it. Do not let it finish the sentence. 2. Answer with authority. Replace it immediately with a command, I will succeed. Failure is not permanent. I rise. 3. Fuel with emotion. Say it with conviction. Fail it. Let your body, your voice, or your energy back up your declaration. 4. Repeat until it hardens. Doubt fades the more you starve it. Belief grows the more you feed it. It's not enough to think positive. You must command your mind with certainty. Failure versus doubt. Let's be clear. Failure is not your enemy. Doubt is. Failure says, you missed the shot. Try again differently. Doubt says, don't even pick up the ball. Failure sharpens your skills. Doubt keeps you untested. Failure humbles you. Doubt humiliates you without even moving. Failure is temporary. Doubt can last forever if you let it. This is why so many talented, intelligent people remain stuck. Not because they failed, but because they doubted. Build a fortress of belief to defeat doubt. You must build your mind into a fortress that it cannot enter. This means guarding your tongue. Never speak defeat out loud. Every I can't is an invitation for doubt to grow. Reinforcing identity. Say, I am success. I am power. I am unstoppable. Speak it until your subconscious has no choice but to believe it. Surrounding yourself wisely. Doubt often enters through other people's voices. Choose carefully who you listen to. Surround yourself with those who strengthen your faith, not feed your fear. Turn doubt into fire. Here's the ultimate secret. You can turn doubt into fuel. Every time doubt whispers, you can't, use it as proof that you must. Let it ignite your determination. Let it become the enemy you rise to defeat. Great achievers did not succeed because they never felt doubt. They succeeded because they never bowed to it. They turned doubt into a challenge, a reason to fight harder. Doubt is poison. It paralyzes the strong, silences the brave, and kills dreams before they take their first breath. You must not tolerate it for a single second. Crush it with faith. Replace it with certainty. Speak with authority. Declare with fire. And when doubt whispers, answer louder, I will. I must. I am unstoppable, because the future belongs not to the doubters, but to the believers who refuse to compromise with fear. Every day, you are giving commands to your mind, your body, your future. The only question is, are you commanding victory or are you commanding defeat? Most people don't even realize they are leaders of an army, the army of their thoughts, habits, and actions. But without discipline, that army turns against them to live with power. You must rise as the commander of your destiny. You must take the seat of authority in your own mind and issue orders that shape your future. Destiny doesn't bend to hope. It doesn't bow to chance. It obeys command. Words are orders, not suggestions. Every phrase you speak is not a harmless sound. It is an order. Your subconscious does not joke. It does not say, "Oh, he didn't mean that." It takes every word as law. When you say, "I'll try," you command hesitation. When you declare, "It's mine," you command certainty. When you whisper, "He can't," you chain your own hands. When you roar, "I will," you unlock doors that once seemed locked. The quality of your commands determines the quality of your life. Speak casually, and you drift. Speak with fire, and you move mountains. The commander's mindset. A true commander never speaks with hesitation. He does not issue half-hearted suggestions. His voice is sharp, certain, and absolute. You must train yourself to speak the same way. When you look into the mirror, don't beg for change, command it. Don't whisper wishes, issue orders. Don't hope for strength, declare strength. Commander, don't ask permission. They don't wait for ideal conditions. They set the tone, they set the pace, and they move forward with unshakable conviction. Repetition makes command law. One command shouted once may light a spark, but repeated commands forge unbreakable law. That is why daily repetition is essential, morning and night. Speak your destiny. Repeat it until it carves itself into your subconscious. Repeat it until your very heartbeat matches the rhythm of your words. Say, "I am worthy. I am powerful. I am unstoppable." Say, "I attract wealth, health, and victory into my life now." Say, "My destiny is sealed because I command it." The subconscious obeys repetition. It does not argue. It accepts. And once it accepts, your reality begins to bend. Emotion is the fuel flat. Lifeless words are empty. A command without emotion is just noise. When you speak, charge your words with passion. Let your voice carry conviction. Let your body feel the truth as if it's already real. Say it with the certainty of a ruler, not the timidity of a beggar. When your words are alive with emotion, they burn into your subconscious and into the fabric of reality. That is when your speech becomes law, guarding your tongue. Every careless phrase is a command. Every "I'm tired," "I'm unlucky," or "I can't" is not just casual, it is destructive. Guard your tongue as if your life depends on it, because it does. Your future is written not only by the goals you set, but by the daily words you speak. If you don't want it, don't say it. If you do want it, declare it with certainty. Becoming the commander, to command your destiny, you must live in 3 disciplines. 1, discipline of thought. Eliminate doubt before it grows. Refuse to think weakness. Replace every negative with a declaration of strength. 2, discipline of word. Speak only what builds strengthens, and aligns with your vision, no defeat, no excuses. 3. Discipline of action. Back your words with movement. A command unbacked by action loses its authority. When thought, word, and action align, you are no longer hoping, you are commanding. The law of command. Here is the eternal law. Life does not respond to wishes. It responds to commands. Hope waits. Command creates. Hope whispers. Command roars. Hope is fragile. Command is unbreakable. The world bends to the one who issues commands with burning faith, relentless action, and unshakable desire. You were not born to drift. You were born to lead, to rise as the commander of your own destiny. So stand tall, speak with authority, guard your words as law, and when doubt whispers, silence it with commands of certainty. Say it daily: I am success. I am power. I am unstoppable. My destiny obeys my voice. Because when you become the commander of your destiny, life itself has no choice but to salute and obey. This is your moment. No more whispering weak wishes. No more waiting for life to change on its own. You now hold the greatest weapon humanity has ever known: your voice, your command, your burning desire. Remember this truth: life does not respond to hesitation. It bends only to conviction. The words you speak to yourself are not background noise. They are orders that shape your destiny. Speak weakness, and you'll live weak. Speak power, and power will rise to meet you. From this day forward, command your future. Say it with certainty: I am success. I am strength. I am unstoppably. Everything I desire is already mine. Repeat it until your soul vibrates with truth. Repeat it until your reality has no choice but to obey. And now, I challenge you, don't just listen. Don't just agree. Act. Take these words and make them your daily ritual. Speak them in the morning. When your energy is low, speak them at night. When your doubts creep in, speak them until they are carved into your identity. Because when your identity shifts, your life shifts. If this message lit a fire in your heart, don't let it die here. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment below, declaring the words you will speak to yourself from this day on. And if you're ready to rise into the person you were destined to be, subscribe